and NFL star Sean Taylor was back in court today asking a judge to reduce his sentence. Eric Rivera was 17 when he shot Taylor in his Palmetto Bay home 11 years ago. He was sentenced to 57 years for a second-degree murder conviction. At a new sentencing hearing today, Rivera called the crime a mistake and an accident and told the judge he deserves a second chance. Rivera
Hello, and welcome to Crime Time with the EZ. Yes, the King, where we turn criminals into the roaches that they are, and then stomp on them, or make them disappear. Shit. Okay, now, awkward pause as I try to recover and pretend that didn't happen. Anywho, in the annals of professional football history, there are stories that captivate our hearts, inspire our spirits, and leave an indelible mark on the game. Today, we delve into the life and tragic fate of Sean Taylor, an extraordinary athlete whose promising career was cut short by a senseless act of violence. Join us as we navigate the timeline of events surrounding this heartbreaking incident. Sean Michael Morris Taylor was born on April 1, 1983, in Miami, Florida. From a young age, it was clear that Taylor possessed exceptional athletic talent, honing his skills on the football field. His prowess caught the attention of colleges and ultimately the NFL. In 2004, Sean Taylor was selected as the 5th overall pick by the Washington Redskins in the NFL draft. It was the beginning of what seemed to be a promising career, and fans were eager to witness his exceptional talent on the field. By 2007, Sean Taylor had become a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. Renowned for his fierce tackling, uncanny instincts, and unmatched athleticism, he was regarded as one of the most dominant safeties in the league. His stellar performance earned him a spot in the Pro Bowl. Tragedy struck on November 26, 2007. Sean Taylor was at his Miami home when a group of armed burglars broke in during the night. In an attempt to protect his family, Taylor confronted the intruders, resulting in a fatal gunshot wound to his leg. The news of Taylor's shooting sent shockwaves throughout the NFL community and beyond. The 24-year-old's untimely demise devastated his teammates, coaches, friends, and fans. In a poignant farewell, thousands gathered to pay their respects at his funeral, mourning the loss of an exceptional athlete and a beloved figure. In 2008, the trial for Sean Taylor's murder commenced. The defendants were brought to justice, and evidence pointed to a botched burglary as the motive for the crime. The trial revealed the horrifying details of that fateful night and shed light on the circumstances surrounding Sean Taylor's death. The defendants received varying sentences, with the shooter being convicted of second-degree murder and armed burglary. The verdict provided some semblance of closure to the Taylor family and the football community, yet the void left by Sean's absence remained irreplaceable. Today, Sean Taylor's memory lives on, not only in the hearts of those who knew him, but also in the legacy he left behind. His talent, tenacity, and passion for the game continue to inspire young athletes and fans alike. The impact of Sean Taylor's life and tragic death serves as a reminder of the fragility of existence and the importance of cherishing each moment. In the aftermath of Sean Taylor's passing, his family established the Sean Taylor Foundation, which aims to provide educational opportunities and support to underprivileged youth. The foundation carries forward his legacy of giving back and making a positive impact. As we reflect on the life of Sean Taylor, we are reminded not only of his football prowess, but also of his incredible potential, both on and off the field. His absence from the game is deeply felt, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. Sean Taylor's story serves as a somber reminder that even the brightest stars can be extinguished too soon. As we honor his memory and celebrate his remarkable achievements, let us also strive to create a world where senseless acts of violence are eradicated and every life is cherished.
There is Sean Taylor, and we talked about this rookie and what a splash he's already made.
He can cover, and oh, can he hit.
Still loose.
Redskins. We haven't heard a whistle yet, and Sean Taylor has gone for the touchdown. Intercepted. Pass intended for Brandon Lloyd, and it's taken all the way back.
And watch Sean Taylor. When Brett Favre turned that one loose, it looked like it was going to be an easy completion. That's being ruled a fumble. The scramble for the loose ball. It's in the arms of Taylor. Sean Taylor will glide to the end zone.
Intercepted by the rookie Sean Taylor.
Oh my, what a display.
Sean Taylor, he does it again. How about that?
That's his fourth takeaway in 2 1/4 games for the Redskins.
The trial is finally underway for the man charged with killing Washington Redskins star Sean Taylor 6 years after the crime. Taylor was shot during a botched burglary of his Miami home back in 2007. ABC's Gio Benitez is tracking the case, and he joins us now. Good morning, Gio.
Good morning to you, George. Taylor's death shocked the nation. He left behind a girlfriend and their daughter, who at the time was just 18 months old. This morning, the accused murderer is on trial. On his first day of trial, the alleged killer of NFL star Sean Taylor makes a stunning allegation that his confession was coerced. It's now the key question for jurors.
That was Sean Taylor.
Taylor was a safety for the Washington Redskins, but one November night in 2007, the 24-year-old was killed in his Miami home. Now, with accused gunman Eric Rivera in court, Taylor's girlfriend emotionally remembers.
Sean woke me up and told me he had heard a noise and to call the police.
Jackie Garcia, niece of actor Andy Garcia, says Taylor grabbed a machete by the bed and an intruder kicked open the bedroom door.
I heard a really loud noise, very similar to a gunshot, and a scream. I got up and I saw Sean laying face down, surrounded by blood.
Police say Taylor, shot in the leg, was bleeding to death. Garcia says she never saw the shooter, but prosecutors say 23-year-old Rivera confessed to the killing. Investigators say it was a botched burglary, that Rivera and 4 friends thought the house was empty and they were looking to steal money.
Sean Taylor, defending himself, defending his family, defending his home, is shot by this defendant.
In court, prosecutors showed jurors casts of what they say are Rivera's footprints from inside the house. They say Rivera, who's pleaded not guilty, drew diagrams of the house for investigators and told them he tossed the gun into the Florida Everglades.
He began to tell the police the entire plan.
Rivera's defense attorney says the videotaped confession was coerced.
The detectives were under such pressure to close this investigation that they forced my client to confess to this crime.
Rivera is charged with first-degree murder, but he was 17 at the time, so he won't face the death penalty. Only one of the alleged accomplices has pleaded guilty, and experts say he may testify against Rivera, George.
That would be tough. Okay, Gio, thanks very much. Let's get Dan Abrams back for more on this. And Dan, that videotape confession, tough to fight.
Yeah, well, look, generally what you want to do is you want to try and get a videotape confession like this excluded before the trial. And his attorneys almost certainly did that. They lost. And so now the confession comes in, and it's much harder to say to a jury, don't believe what you saw.
Once they hear it.
Yeah, don't believe him confessing. You want a judge to say, this is inadmissible, there are legal rules here that apply, we're not going to have the jury see this. Once the jury sees it, a lawyer arguing he was coerced, you shouldn't believe it. Very hard argument.
And we just heard Gio say one of the accomplices may testify against him. Lots of other evidence, too.
Right, you've got cell phone data linking him to the neighborhood. You've got that footprint matching the exact shoe that he was wearing, and you've got the testimony of a fellow co-conspirator, effectively, who has pled out. So you got a lot of pieces here. This is tough defense.
Weighed against all that, it doesn't appear to be a lot of premeditation here, and he was very young, 17.
And that's the key to the argument, right? Which is maybe ordinarily you can't believe it, but this kid was 17. That's why he was coerced. That's why you can believe that he wasn't of sound mind, in effect, when he made this confession, when he did this, etc. But still, that's only going to get you a little bit, meaning that's the kind of argument that may help you more in sentencing than it's going to in the guilt or innocence phase.
And is there still a possibility that as the trial goes on, he could figure out a way to plea out?
Sure, you could, but you would think that that's the sort of thing generally it happens before. Sometimes it happens during the trial, particularly if one side or the other is doing particularly well or badly. But now that it's going to trial, this is not a case where they're going to offer a very good deal. And as a result, that's probably why he's willing to sort of risk it on going to trial.
There's a new revelation in the case of murdered Washington Redskins star Sean Taylor. Police say suspects in the case admit to burning their clothes as part of a failed attempt to cover up their role in the crime last year. One suspect says 5 people traveled from the Fort Myers area to Miami, where Taylor lived. After the murder, they returned to Fort Myers, where they burned shirts, gloves, and other clothes. That information comes from suspect statements released by state prosecutors. They are heavily redacted and do not amount to confessions. The November 26 shooting took place after a botched robbery attempt at Taylor's home. The all-pro safety for the Redskins died from heavy blood loss. He was remembered fondly by fans and players alike.
I'm going to miss him with all my heart, and I love him.
One suspect, 20-year-old Jason Scott Mitchell, earlier stayed at the house for several days, helping Taylor cut the grass and making preparations for a birthday party. Taylor gave him $300. Mitchell says that at the time of the shooting, he thought Taylor would be with the Redskins, but the player was home with a knee injury. Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
Verdict. We, the jury in Miami-Dade County, Florida, this 4th day of November 2013, find the defendant, Eric Rivera Jr., guilty of second-degree murder as a lesser-included offense. The defendant was not in the possession of a firearm during the commission of the second-degree murder. Count 2. Guilty of burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery while armed. The defendant committed an assault or battery during the commission of the burglary. There was a human being in the structure. So say we all, 4-person.
And NFL star Sean Taylor was back in court today asking a judge to reduce his sentence. Eric Rivera was 17 when he shot Taylor in his Palmetto Bay home 11 years ago. He was sentenced to 57 years for a second-degree murder conviction. At a new sentencing hearing today, Rivera called the crime a mistake and an accident and told the judge he deserves a second chance. Rivera shot Taylor when the Washington Redskins star rushed him with a machete he kept in his room for protection. Taylor's girlfriend and young daughter were also home at the time. The judge denied Rivera's request, upholding his sentence.
What did you think about the video? Please comment below, and please keep all involved in your prayers.